Welcome back to North of the Broad. I'm your host, Karen Wyman. I'm joined this afternoon by Dr. Robert Bohnstengel from Bridges Preparatory School. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, Karen.
So I'm going to call you Dr. B because I hear that's what the kids call you. Is that right?
For a number of years, it's just easier than Bohnstengel, especially for the kindergarten and first grade.
Excellent. Well, it may be easier for me this afternoon, but thank you so much for coming and joining us here on North of the Broad. We know you're here to talk about your new role at Bridges Preparatory School. So share with us and the viewers what you are doing now here in Buford for Bridges Prep.
Well, I'm here as the principal, head of school for Bridges Preparatory School. Right now, technically, it's until December, but we'll be talking with the board to see if there's going to be an extension beyond that.
Excellent. So I know before we started our interview, we talked a little bit about your experience in education and that you live in Charleston and you're here helping with Bridges Prep. But what prepared you for this job here in Buford and helping move Bridges Prep to the next step?
Karen, all I ever really wanted to do was teach U.S. history. One educator's journey from the rural classrooms of South Carolina to the principal's office of the largest charter school in South Carolina. That's the title of a breakout session I've given a number of times at James Madison University and here in South Carolina. And it really is true. That's really all I wanted to do, and that's why I came to the University of South Carolina from Jacksonville, Florida, to study Southern history. And so when I found a job, my first teaching job was right next door in Jasper County in Ridgeland, and I got a job teaching at Ridgeland High School, teaching South Carolina history and world history. And in the 9 or 10 years I was in the classroom, I taught South Carolina history, world geography, Western civilization, government, economics, and I never taught U.S. history. And I got so wrapped up in the high school and the culture of high school, I got into administration, and then all I ever wanted to do was be a high school principal until my superintendent at that time, Dale Strickland, said, "I got the job for you, it's the elementary principal." And I didn't want it, but he said, "No, you're going to do this for me." And thank goodness I still call him and keep in touch with him and thank him every time because I talked to him. I spent 5 years at Ridgeland Elementary School, pre-K through 5, 1,100 kids, and it was a great experience for me. And I then went to Charleston and opened up the magnet school, and then got assigned to James Island High School and ended up for 10 years the principal of James Island Charter High School. So those experiences, pre-K through 12, and also with charter schools, prepared me for a challenge like Bridges, which is a kindergarten through 8th grade with 500 students, and it's a charter school, which are very unique situations.
Yeah, and I know, you know, it's right across the street from where my office is at the Blood Alliance, and I see the main campus and the students moving out back and forth as we just started and finished our first week or into our second week of school here. So in your short time here at Bridges and in Buford, what strikes you the most?
Well, I think it's, number one, it is the engaged parental body. Parents are very, very concerned, like all parents are, particularly in the elementary level. But charter school parents feel, my experience has been, they feel more of an empowerment and an entitlement, and they should, for the operation and the governance of that school. So we have a very engaged parental body, very, very concerned and very happy too. We have a dedicated faculty, young, not so young, experienced, and some with not so much experience. Very dedicated, very bright, and they want this school to succeed. We're also in an area much like where I live now with Charleston, a city with a great deal of history, 300 years plus.
Absolutely.
And that history provides a number of resources that the school can tap into for the education of our children. So it's an exciting time for me and for the Bridges community.
And maybe an opportunity for you to do some hands-on U.S. history teaching and go back to your roots if you want to get back in the classroom.
Maybe so.
Maybe so. What are some of the expectations that you have this year as you come to Bridges and take on this leadership role? What are your expectations for the school and for the students?
Well, our expectations, of course, are to continue with the curriculum that we have at Bridges, the Padilla curriculum, which is very unique, expand that, make certain our staff is fully trained in that curriculum. Also, since we are now 8th grade and we are committed to adding a grade a year, we have aspiring high school students. So one of our goals this year is to make certain that our parental body and our students are educated and prepared for high school. What is high school life going to be like? So we are planning right now some informational sessions and planning sessions, because we're going to have to be doing some 4-year plans for those 8th graders. It's going to be an exciting time for them.
It is. It's exciting. I'm the mother of a 14 and a 12-year-old, so I understand where those parents are coming from,
Right.
and some of those trepidations and anxiety as you move up into the high school years. And what does my child need in order to get into the school or the college that they would like to be able to go to?
And the final goal we have is a facilities goal. Since we are expanding, and we're on 3 different campuses.
Yeah, we talked about that. I was not aware that you have 3 separate locations as you move into this school year.
We have 3 separate locations right across from your office, 1100 Boundary Street, which we sometimes call the main campus. Just a few blocks away, max half a mile away, the Green Street campus, which is the Charles Lynn Brown Center. And then we have a new campus for our kindergarten and 1st grade students on Ladies Island at the Celadon building. So those 3 separate campuses present some unique opportunities.
Challenges,
for us.
opportunities,
Yeah,
challenges.
we like to say opportunities to make certain that those are all managed well. Communication is constant, rapid, and effective on those 3 campuses, and that speaks to, and I've found that to be the case, and very responsive anytime we have some needs on those different campuses, and that speaks to the dedication that I've found with the staff. Every one of the staff, while they are Bridges staff, they like to think of their campus as the Green Street campus. That's my campus, and Celadon is my campus, although we're all part of the Bridges community. So it's
Very committed.
Very committed.
So tell us what some of the strengths are of the school as we wrap up our time here this afternoon together.
The strengths, as I've mentioned, is the parents, the community, the governing body, the board of directors, which is, as you might know, unique in the charter school community. That is an elected Board of Education. We are part of the South Carolina, we're a public school, and we're part of the South Carolina Charter School District, public school district. We're authorized by that public school district. And so each school, and Bridges is no exception, has an elected Board of Education. And they act more like a school district than an individual school. And because of that, you have to have committed people, interested people, and we do on that board. I found out when I got here, when I walked in, was first introduced to the members of the board, the last member they were going to introduce to me, I said, well, of course, that's Calvin White, former principal of Beaufort High School. I met him, I don't even want to say 1900 and something.
Yeah. So you come full circle, is that what you're trying to share?
Absolutely. At St. Helena, he was at St. Helena's Junior High, and I was an assistant JV football coach, and he was the head, and I got to meet Calvin then and maintain that friendship over the years. So I've come full circle, yes.
So thank you so much for joining us this afternoon here on North of the Broad. We're so happy that you're here at Bridges and in Beaufort, back where you started, or
Yes.
down the street. But Dr. B, thank you so much
My
for
pleasure.
being a guest, and we hope to see you again here on North of the Broad.